Hey y'all, happy Saturday. Kate rambles on and there's Miss Pandora. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon and she's just lounging in the bed, son. And I'm going to try to get away from the music. It's me, I've just been hanging outside here, outside the camper. Spring has come to Oklahoma. Let me close my little latch thing here. Probably can't see through the window, but you hear the hum? It's the ice maker. Yes. Seedlings. So I'm going to get these stacks and herbs planted soon, but I'm using the older soil, and then I'm amending it with some fresh compost and some organic material and some good some fresh potting mix and also some more feed. But I'm going to continue to use this dirt. Got a few flags out just for color. So this was some African daisies that I found a packet of somewhere, and another wildflower mix, which I put in here together. I did that on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Maybe I did that last weekend, but looky. I don't know if you can see, but there's little green shoots coming up in places right there along the ground. I don't know if you can see them, but anyway, we'll see how it is. This back here is some of it's Sweet William, most of it's Coreopsis, which is like a ground cover perennial wildflower, native around most of North America. It didn't even die out, even when it was covered in snow and ice. And it'll make some white and some little yellow flowers, and I think these make some blue ones. Oh gosh, maybe I should adjust my screen. Some blue ones. So I think I'm going to move the little fairy door in front of this big rock because the squirrels and the birds just keep abusing it. I use those little stumps at the ends as little bird places for bird feed for like the juncos and the doves and anything that's too big for the feeders and prefers to be low to the ground. We're also using that piece of flat sandstone there. And then, of course, I keep some up here, but I'm going to, these are going to be holding flowers and maybe a little fountainy thing this summer. I want to get, and I found one, I can probably get a cheaper one on Temu or Amazon, but you see kind of right there, there's my chair. There's room for like one person to sit beside me, as long as we're really close, and then the awning stops. So right here, I want to get a little two-person little glider bench chair thing that has a canopy. Uh-oh, we've got onlookers. Uh-oh, looky. If they could photobomb, they would. Hi, guys. Here's the neighboring goaty goats. I don't know if you can tell by their dirt. They've been digging. Finding little places to lay and root around, lick minerals. Yeah, she's been back here with me most of the morning. They've been on this side of the yard, but they like to come out here in the shade, I guess, when it gets sunny. But there's the younger small ones. Aren't they cutesses? I know, I don't think any of this vine's going to grow back. Maybe some there. I mean, they like to eat it in the summer. If it gets big enough, you know, I'll push it over and let them nibble it. But hi, guys. Oh, I just saw your little teepees. It's such a cute little smile. So I don't know their names. I don't know their sexes. Pretty much get female, male. I think the two males are wethers. And then I don't know what the little ones are. I'm not sure. I haven't really been able to get close enough to look down between their little legs. But as there's no babies, and she could be pregnant, but nah. I can't tell. Her lunch and her pregnant side are about the same size, so who knows? But they're sweet. And I don't think there's any buckiness back here, so unless they took her to be bred, but They don't need any more. They don't pay attention to these. Yeah. I mean, they take care of them, but they don't spend time with them. I don't know why they have them. They don't milk them. They just raise them. Aren't they cute? Anyway, I love communing with them. And they like to hear, when they hear me pull up or start talking, so. If the landlord can get these people to move, he's going to finish straighten the canal and give me part of my yard back. But I think I'm going to get some clematis to climb up this. Still alive, mostly old cedar. I think it'll climb it fine. I'm going to suspend one of my hummingbird feeders from this little branch up here. Jesus, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm just looking with my eyes and then just letting the screen go all wonky everywhere. So from this branch up here, I'm going to hang one of my hummingbird feeders. I'll leave this one here. But, yeah, I'm going to get some clematis and some climbing vines for this. That also attracts pollinators and it's pretty. Like I said, from there I'm going to hang one of probably my biggest hummingbird feeder. And then the other one, the small one that's bottle shaped, I'll hang over here on the shepherd's pole with the other two feeders. And right now I'm out of suet and woodpecker block, and they're just going to have to wait till payday. And right now, they don't need it. There's plenty of seed everywhere. I've watched my downy woodpecker come all the way to the bottom and come down here and peck around, take a seed and take it up, wedge it in the bark, and then peck the meat out. So, yeah. I think by this next batch, I'm not going to get the same brand because there's not a lot of the red millet in it that they don't like. There's a lot of the little stuff they do like, and of course, the finches and the smaller birds are really into that, but they all love the black oil sunflower seeds. But that was the Royal Wing Classic blend. I got it at Tractor Supply. They were having a good deal on it, but yeah. So, and it's not bad as long as I mix in my own black oil sunflower seeds. So I might do that because it is a good blend without too much of the big red millet, which is what they tend to like really load it down. I used to buy Ace bird seed, and I loved it, and my birds loved it. But I noticed the last couple summers in Delaware and then last year here that the ones I got just had so much red millet they just didn't eat it. So now I just refilled the big one today. It was down to about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So I filled it, and I just filled it with the mix. And the black oil sunflower seeds seem to work their way to the top, so they got a good batch there. But these little feeders I just topped with some extra. I just grabbed a small bag at the dollar store for $5, and it makes it a treat. It attracts cardinals, which I love. Alright, we got Mr. Tucked a Titmouse up here. Let me see if I can lock in on him. Yeah. There he is. He's gone now. So anyway, I'm just sitting out here this morning listening to some tune mix on YouTube and watching nature. Trees are budding out. Pecans haven't started quite to bud out, but as soon as they do, I will get everything in the ground for my raised beds. I've got 2 cucumbers in there, 2 that are growing in one little pot. And they're both starting to get their second set of leaves. You know, their first set of serrated leaves, grown-up leaves, I guess. So hopefully it'll warm up enough that I can put them in like little temporary pots or get them out here within the next week or two. Because if I have to, I'll get some little pots and just use some of this dirt. I've got 5 of these because the stack's 5 feet tall, that still have a lot of dirt in it. You know. So there's some good soil down the bottom I can get out and mix in just for something temporary to put these little seedlings in. But I'll just grab another thing of potting soil this weekend just for temporary moving them if I have to. I hate vegetable seedlings you know, taking them from the seed starter tray to a bigger cup and then putting to the ground. To me, it's a lot of trauma. You know, just about the time they're really selling it and getting used to the cup, then it's time to put them in the ground, which is always going to be a little bit more of a shock. But I'm figuring I can probably 8 bags of soil per raised bed. So that's a little over probably 120 bucks in just soil I need to get on payday. And I'm gonna they are where they're going to be. So sorry I'm not zooming in and out. Just bear with me, and I'll probably post this the way it is, because you know I don't like to edit, and I suck at editing, and I just don't do it. This is the reality. But I just felt like I needed to chat and catch you guys up, because I haven't caught up with any of you in a long time. So I've got some more cardboard saved, but I'm going to line the bottom with some cardboard and leaves, and just cardboard and leaves. I don't want to put a lot of branches or anything too thick, because these are only 12 inches, and I want to have it good, at least 8 to 9 inches of that all soil, and it's going to settle. So, but that'll also help with the erosion, and there's a few little places that there's space at the bottom, and that's fine. That will help with drainage, because there is a bit of a slope going that way, you know, the way I'm facing. But even though these aren't, I want to be able to not have to prop them up and build them up, so the soil inside will be level, but even though they don't look level. I have an arch to put together, and I think I'm going to put it right here, just so that from over here I can have green beans and some nasturtium and cucumber. And then over here in a separate container, but on the other side of the arch, I can have some tomatoes and peppers and some tomatoes, peppers, some dill. Yeah, I think I'm going to put dill and garlic maybe in this end. Or not. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what else. I might end up putting some peas out here sooner, you know, in a few weeks. If I get the dirt in soon, I may go ahead and try to get some English peas in. If not, who knows. But I'm going to use my garden bags, which I've got 4 of them. And I'm going to put my zucchini and squash in them. Probably 2 plants of each. I was going to do potatoes, but, you know, I don't know. If I do, I might try the garden basket. You know, going to the Dollar Tree and getting a couple cheap laundry baskets, and doing that thing where you put a little bit of coconut liner in them, and then you fill it up and you just grow it in there, and it self-drains. And so I think I may do that. And running down this tree here, I don't know if you can see him. I think it's a tufted titmouse. It might be a nuthatch. Oh crap, I'm like totally not on him. There he is. He's right there by there he is. Probably because I have my shades on and the sun's... That's a nuthatch. A tufted titmouse, similar in size, but it has a tuft and it's got a gray head, and yeah, I believe that's the nuthatch. I have to get a picture. Anyway, so yeah, this is just me sitting out in the garden, making a horrible video that I'm going to share with you guys, talking about the garden and just catching up a little bit. And being Kate, I'm rusty, okay? So I'm not used to looking through the telephone and talking and filming while looking through it. You know me, squirrel. My ADD brain gets distracted. So one evening we'll sit here and we'll just sit quietly and watch the evening feeding. Maybe tomorrow it's supposed to be a little cooler, so they'll really definitely come to pig out before bed. This guy's still going up and down. Yeah, he's gone up to the knot in the tree now. He's like, I'm going to break this seed open one way or the other. So anyway, you guys, have a great Saturday, and I'm going to go back to chilling and listening to my birds and just relaxing. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Stay in touch. Bye for now.